There is new campaign news from our own backyard in the battleground state of Virginia.
Yeah, the Washington Post has a new poll out today. Very interesting, showing Hillary Clinton with a 14-point lead over Donald Trump. The Post says Clinton leads in all parts of the Commonwealth except, you probably could guess it, for the rural southwest part of the state.
All right, but how much should we be reading into these polls, especially with a few months to go until the campaign? Cliff Young, the man who leads the Ipsos polling group right here in D.C., joins us now to break it all down. Cliff, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you.
Let me ask you right off the bat, 14 points is a big lead, but how much should we read into it 83 days ahead of the election?
Yeah, as I always say, we're far off, almost 3 months, right? Anything can happen, anything can change, but it's indicative about his performance. And Donald Trump has had a lousy 2 weeks and really bad news out of Virginia. Virginia is a very important swing state, along with Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Florida, and he really needs it if he's going to construct that map for a victory in November. Bad news, indeed.
Cliff, let's take a look at obviously her running mate. If you subtracted Tim Kaine from the equation with her, do you think she would be doing as well as she is right now in Virginia? Of course, former governor of Virginia, Tim Kaine, her running mate.
I think that on the margins it helps, but she'd be leading anyways. Indeed, if you look at the polls nationally, she's ahead by 8 points over Trump. And why is that the case? He had to really go into the conventions, really energize that base. He didn't do a very good job. It was noisy at best, the conventions. Post-convention, you had the con issue. Across any demographic, it was really a disaster for him, especially in a state like Virginia, where the veteran vote is so important. It did not put him in a good place looking forward. Now, once again, we're far off from Election Day. A lot can happen. The debates are going to be very important, but he's basically having to do a bit of a cleanup and crisis management.
Well, Cliff, let me ask you, though. I mean, for regular folks at home who, you know, hear different polls all the time, explain this to me. We know that Donald Trump tweeted this out this afternoon. There's a Zogby poll he tweeted about that said this is just a 2-point race. Clinton 38%, Trump 36%. And then there was another NBC Survey Monkey poll, you know, that had Hillary Clinton down when it comes to military households. How are regular folks like us, folks watching right now, supposed to understand the up and down in these polls?
Yeah, there's a little bit of bounciness around the polls. I used the analogy last time I was on, you know, professional pitcher. A professional pitcher might always put that ball in the right place on the strike zone, but there's a little bit of variability over that. So what you should really do as a user and a citizen that's very interested in elections is take the average. You take the average. You can go to websites like pollster.com and Huffington Post, or go to Real Clear Politics, and they have averages, and the average is the best guess as to what's happening at any given moment. So take the average of all the polls.
All right, that's a good way to look at it. Cliff, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it.